And that's what you're using as a recall. Instead of come, you're telling her to touch your fist. So it's where you have a closed fist, it's out to the side, it's moving so that her eyes can see it. Same thing with dog eyes not being built to pick out shapes or items in a landscape. Movement works better. So it's out to the side, distinguishable, it's moving, and you're moving too. Take a couple steps back. The second she touches her nose to your fist, that's when you're marking right. Then you could give her a treat. You could have a treat in your fist and you open up to give it to her. You could go get her a treat from somewhere else, or you could play with her for a moment. So this is one that you want to use, in situations where you could get her to come to you. This is not an advanced off-leash recall, and it's situations where something bad's not about to happen. Because if you use this for things that she's going to perceive as a punishment, she's going to start thinking it means the opposite that it used to. So if you tell her to touch so that you can put her in the crate, or you tell her to touch so that you can clip her nails, she's going to start not coming to touch your fist out of disobedience. It's going to be because you have trained her to genuinely think that touch means I will punish you if you come near me. Because that's what happens in her mind. Every time she comes, you go, great, I'm throwing you in the crate now for that. Or great, I'm gonna pull out the nail trimmers and keep you still while I mess with your feet. Whatever, if there's something that she doesn't like, don't use touch to get her to do it. Or if you do, put a gap between those things. Tell her to touch and then spend a couple of minutes playing with her, give her treats. When she's had enough time to not connect the two, even over repeated times, then go on to do whatever it is that you needed her for. So use this sparingly, make sure that it's positive, because also if she, without something like a long range e-collar or a long line around the house, we're kind of depending on this being exciting for her to come. It's a bargain because we physically can't make her do this unless you have an e-collar or a long line. So when we say come, it needs to be something super exciting. If she does have a leash on or a long line and you said come and she didn't, you could make her by picking up the long line and pulling her into you. Or if she is just around the house, it's a situation where you could make her come out of excitement, then you could run away from her to get her to chase you and turn it into a game of her trying to touch the fist. Right, Kiwi? Where'd you go? Alright, so I'll show you one where I've got a treat in my hand. I'll get a little sit to start. Good girl. Touch. Good girl, right? Good girl. Yay. Yay. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, good job. Very good. Very good. Then one without a treat in my hand. I'll have it in my other hand. Touch. Good girl. Right. Good girl. You're still marking right the second she touches, then getting her a treat. Just like a sit, a down, or a climb.